So, after you.
Here we go.
Turn the lights on.
Oh dear.
There. What do you think of it, Angela?
Television studios that are empty look so sad, don't they? With all these pipes, they look like a sort of decommissioned power station, don't they? Because when I was here, there was a set in here.
Yes.
One single camera that was a robotic camera,
yeah.
And of course through the glass, the entire team, the production team, the director, the PAs, sound engineers, they were all behind there, and I was in here in solitary splendour, me and a thing like a Dalek for a camera.
Not to go near or touch the car, but to call the police immediately if they spot it.
The very first day I arrived here at Television News in my little car, and I drove up to the main gate, I remember feeling absolute gooseflesh from coming up to the 6th floor to the newsroom, and the buzz and the atmosphere. There weren't computers then. Everybody was working on typewriters, so there was a noise. There were banks of televisions everywhere where the material was coming in on film from people who were foreign correspondents working abroad, and there was such a buzz about the place. It was, I think, every news man or woman's dream to come and work at Television Centre in Television News at that time.
Looking back, you spent about 6 or 7 years, I think, as a presenter. What were the biggest challenges in that time that you faced, either as stories or on a sort of day-to-day basis?
We had an editor who used to say, "Will it get Ethel out of the kitchen?" And if it got Ethel out of the kitchen, you knew you'd done your job. If you did it, the challenge was to present the news in such a way that it had an immediacy, it had an importance that would get Ethel out of the kitchen and make her sit up and listen.
A report on the economy has just come through from number 11 Downing Street. The Chancellor's statement reads as follows: "There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music."
You, of course, became very famous very quickly. Did you find that unnerving? Because some people do.
The thing that I did find difficult to deal with was the press reaction to being, as I was at that time, the first woman to make an impact on reading the news, followed very swiftly by Anna Ford at ITV. But the press reaction towards a woman newsreader was so sexist and so over the top that was what I found difficult to deal with. And I think it's terrific that now we have so many terrific and wonderful women who are newsreaders, who are correspondents, who are foreign correspondents, who are specialists at what they're doing. I remember before the 6 o'clock news, we always had the magic roundabout. And in a funny sort of a way, while I was sat in the studio, this studio, waiting to go on air, to see Ermintrude and all of the characters, it was very calming, so that when you actually came to do the news, you were in a very good frame of mind. But by the 9 o'clock news, of course, it was quite different. And when you heard that BBC news, you knew you were on the air, that you were the face of television news that night, and that you were the person that 9 million people in the nation were looking at and from whom they wanted to hear the most important stories of the day. And even today, and it's years, it's 1981 since I read the news for the BBC, I still get people shouting out, "Here, Ange, what's on the news tonight then?"